Don't fret, it wasn't a threat. Can't even I can't even die by suicide. I've already tried. When you have a tree of life in your chart, you have the destiny to live a long life, a legendary one, with a quick and easy death. The tree of life is life everlasting, and if you died in the upright, you can't even die by your own weapon. It's literally no weapon formed against me shall prosper, even my own. I think a lot of people think that people who die of suicide are not upright. But it would determine that's definitely, so to speak, in Catholicism. You know, you go into purgatory if you kill yourself, they say. But people who die by suicide simply don't have an understanding of the entities that they're dealing with. And as all my work has shown, most people who harm themselves have severe wounds that were created by others. And then others refused them the necessary needs they needed to heal. So myself personally, I don't believe that you can die and not be upright, or you can still die by your own hand and not be upright. You know, it kind of just determines, it's kind of just based off of the energy you were putting out. What the circumstance was. Were you innocent and you were gaslighted and driven to it? Or were you like some kind of axe murderer and did it to get out of trouble? You know, whichever one it is the one that'll determine if you were spared by that, in another lifetime. So I died of consumption, which is TB, which is like modern day C19. I died of a stroke. I died of a vehicle accident. I died by burning. I died of a broken heart. I died by poisoning. I died by a stabbing. I died by a shooting. I died many times. Here I am. You tried to kill me by all those ways, didn't you? I tried to kill myself. I tried to poison myself. I always try to kill myself by pills. You know? I remember telling this to someone and they were like, yeah, you just want to die pretty. Well, I really don't have the guts to do anything else. So I'm not gory. I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? So I literally have never been driven to tear my skin. I tried to be a cutter when I was young. Did it once or twice and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I don't like pain. If I go, I want to go peacefully. Just in my sleep, And so you don't have to worry about me ever harming myself. You can die from loneliness. It'll be like a broken heart, but I've died from that. So, nope, you're just gonna have to make me wait, aren't you? There was a lyric in Ham where he said he was bulletproof, and, I now understand what he means. But, it makes for some painful experiences, like, like that. Remember that show, A Thousand Ways to Die? Y'all gonna have to pick something I didn't die from already. I know y'all have. And now you can't even get in my energy to do anything. I don't know what lifetime it was. But I used to have dreams of dying by strangulation. I don't know if somebody just planted that into my head or it actually happened. But a lot of these things I know about past lives, for me, I began to experience a lot of them, and all it was like confirmation once I found the actual identity. I've been dreaming about that since like 2000, since I had Aaron. When I was pregnant with Aaron, a lot of things happened. When I was pregnant with Aaron, and on the outside looking in, it looked like I was completely insane because I was like experiencing a whole lot of issues. I tried to take my life, but because of my pregnancy, the medication that they gave me when I was in the psych ward for that, it wasn't approved when I left the psych ward. It was like approved for an emergency situation to get me balanced back out. But ultimately, the hospital, like, they should have just left me alone, for real. Because as soon as I left the hospital, and in fact, it probably was never even covered by my insurance to begin with. In the hospital, they can give you anything and just bill you later. You know what I'm saying? But once you walk out the hospital, you try to fill that prescription. The insurance has to have a valid reason to give it to you. So I couldn't get it approved. And so everything they had done over that time to get me back stable, it was like an instant drop. And so, things happening. I'm being called and harassed by one. I got the other one. I was trying to hide my pregnancy from my daughter's dad because I just knew he was gonna throw a fit, but it was like a covert fit. The older one, he had already began because he knew I was pregnant. I told him, and like he had began doing things. And so I just tried to hide it from her dad for as long as possible. But one day my daughter was like, "Can I kiss my baby?" And she kissed my belly and it was over. So I had like all these things happening to me. But I started to have dreams of dying. And I'd be dying in all these ways, but I wouldn't always, I would like look down and see how I'm dressed. And it was always some kind of weird outfit that I would know I would never wear in my life. One time it was like sackcloth, bro. It was not clothes. So I began to see like me dying. You don't have to worry, like, if I'm gonna do something. And I definitely know you guys are still gonna make me wait no matter how much I say I need help. Doesn't even matter. Do I need help? No. They're literally gonna make me wait this shit out. I just don't want to anymore. There's nothing I can do about it. It's like really annoying. I do really feel half dead, like I said. It's like a feeling like, I know the angel of death, the angel of death came to me to tell me that I wouldn't be dying, basically. But the only reason that she could come is because ultimately where I am, like, I really am very near death. Like, that feeling I'm describing is what it feels like. It's that feeling right before, like, I recognize the feeling because I've attempted to harm myself 3 times in this lifetime. I said 2, but it was 3. First time I was a teenager, and I took a whole bunch of Midol. Of course, as a teenager, you don't really fucking know what you're doing. You can't die off of Midol, child. I mean, you might be able to cause like liver damage or some shit, and like permanently damage yourself or something, but you're not gonna like slip into a coma and die or some shit. You're not gonna. I didn't know any better. That's all that I had in the house that had anything other than just Tylenol in it. Like, I know the feeling. I know exactly what that feeling is. I just know there's nothing that I can do about it. I cannot die. Never say never, but the thing is that I have reached life everlasting. I have reached, like, death cannot come over me until it is time. Naturally. A lot of my deaths are like in young age. Like, a lot of my lifetimes, I didn't get past 50. As a matter of fact, a majority of them are in my 30s, like 33, like right at 33, almost all of them, as far as you can tell. Because some of my lifetimes, I don't even have a birth date. I don't know how old I was. I could just feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel that I was very young. So, and as a matter of fact, so far, I only counted 2 in which I was in old age. And I've counted like 15 lives, but I know that there's at least 30. Because what it looks like, okay, so I said that there's no way that I could be people simultaneously, but that's not true. There's a movie called Down to Earth. Remember, they show us fiction, but it's true. When Chris Rock's character died, he entered another body of someone who was having a heart attack. And then when that person died their natural death, he went into another body who had died in like an accident or something. I can't remember. But basically, you are able to, jump into someone who is having a near death experience. So that is how I was able to be all of these people. So even those people end up not living a long time. And then, so here's an example too, by the way. Like, I just said that to somebody. Okay. When people come back from an accident or something and they have amnesia, I'm starting to believe that's not true. It's just they are a new soul. They're not the soul. Or they come back and maybe they do remember everybody, but they're totally different. People report that all the time. Like they had a near-death experience and now they just have a new lease on life. New lease on life? No, it's a new lease on the body. It's a totally different soul. Oh, yeah. There's a secret for you guys. So, like, even if I were... A matter of fact, I found proof of it. I died as Mary Conti, but I came back as Mary Hemsley, and it was in documents. Mary Conti died and then became Mary Hemsley, married to Philemon. That's a book in the Bible. Yeah. The thing is, that website I've been telling everybody about is completely gone now. Wonder why. It was replaced. It was replaced by a totally different website that does not give you all the features of the one that I found. And it kind of like narrates for you in a way that is not the same as what I witnessed. I've looked everywhere. Put in the names of all the people that brought that, because there were certain names that would bring up that website. Nothing. Gone. And they've created their own narrative now, yet again. Anyway. Now, that could have been a case of like doppelgangers, but this woman, Mary Hemsley, Mary Conti, I have reason to believe it's not doppelgangers or like a case of faking a death. Just because that's what I felt. When I read it, I was like, this is the proof. But I never brought it up because my only example to give you is that you can't see it, and a fictional movie. You just gotta believe me, You just gotta believe me. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can just tell you my own experiences and what I've seen. So, and nobody has to worry about me dying, and just, it's exhausting being hopeful. It's exhausting being patient. This is putting a whole new meaning to strength and indestructible. I'm going to tell you what else is indestructible for those who are super nosy, still stalking. I'm going to tell you like this. Back in the day, especially during war times, like if a woman lost a man to war, or she lost a man to another woman, and that man especially touched her heart, she would just rededicate herself to God and become a nun. If she had laid with that man, she would just live the rest of her days celibate. Myself personally, I don't have a problem with that. I've had enough sex in my life. Honestly, even nothing fulfilling anyway. You know, I was talking to someone who continued to say how much they miss intimacy. They're also in like a similar isolated a situation, and they miss intimacy and they miss sex and they miss cuddling and all that stuff. But I can literally count on one hand and one finger how many times I experienced that out of all the times that I've laid with someone. You cannot miss what you don't know and what you haven't had an excess of. So, you know, it's sad to say it like this, but I could literally live the rest of my life and never like be with anyone else. I'm at that point. I'm cool with that. Like, I get offers all the fucking time. You know, the remnants of the past have all circled around. There are new folks circling around like fucking vultures. Your first sign is they can't even fucking say hello when you walk by. They gotta wait until you're like halfway down the aisle because they're so stricken with your energy. It means they can't handle it. You know? What's the point? Means they wouldn't know what to fucking do with me if I gave them the fucking chance. What is the point? There's no one that has come within my energy that I would deal with. Does that mean never? No, because if Aubrey Graham came into my energy, he got that fire. That's just a joke on the recent rumors. Sorry, I had to do it. Yeah, that's literally the only person I would ever deal with if it wasn't the man of the hour. And a lot of you don't understand that level of loyalty. You don't understand this level of loyalty. It's just eternal gratefulness that he gave me that one time that I needed in order to get down to the bottom of my issues. You know what I'm waiting on? My kids and my money. Because my money's on my mind. I did a lot of work. And I just want the rewards of that. Mercedes literally means a woman with reward. Did you know that? It's a derivative of Mary of Mercies. And I'm looking for my mercy. That's all. Don't worry about if I move on or not. That's not your business. And I see a lot of people trying to persuade me to detach or to let go. I mean, the situation has been given to God. When I found that letter to the man of the hour, the only reason it came up is because I was looking for my glutathione list. It's not like I'm sitting here dwelling on the man. Those things are just divinely brought to me to show you I knew me then, I know me now. I'm straight.